So in the last video, we covered how to do arithmetic in R, and we talked a little bit about how R is the preferred programming language of choice when doing data analysis in psychological research. So in this video, we're going to be covering the how to assign values to variables, which is really useful when you want to, for example, have a variable that represents the test score on midterm 1 and the test score on midterm 2, and then you want to compute like the average test scores for all midterms, something like that. But variables are really useful in R, and so let's just dive right in. So then, for example, if I wanted to assign a value 5 to A and then a value 5 to 10 to B, you could do basic arithmetic options or functions on these variables stored in, so we can do A plus B would be 15. A times B is 50. So some practice problems that ChatGPT has provided for us. We can do x is equal to 3, y is equal to 7, x plus y. If I just highlight over these three lines and then press a command return on Mac, control return on Windows, we can see that 3 plus 7 is 10. So then we can do p is equal to 20, q is equal to 4, p divided by q is 5. M is equal to 15, n is equal to 2, m times n is, well, we need to run all three lines. V is equal to 9, v minus 4 is 5. So t is equal to 5, u is equal to 3. If we want to exponentiate t to the power of u, then we can do t to the u, 125. And then a psychology problem here. So if we're assigning the number of males in our study, which is 12 in this case, and the number of females to the study, which is 18, if we only have, in this particular study, males and females, then we're adding the two. Then we can do this in R. So n males equals to 12, n females equals to 18. Then n, we can say total is equal to n males plus n females, and then we can do total like that. In a lot of tutorials in Python or maybe even in R, you'll often see a print function to kind of, and it essentially does the same thing. Psychology problem number 2. If we want to assign a score 1 is equal to 45, so this could be a math test score, for example, and score 2 is equal to 55, then if we want to calculate the average score, well, let's assign, we know, from an entry-level research methods course or even just from high school math, the average is score 1 plus score 2 all divided by the number of scores. So in this case it's 2, and it's 50. In R, we can use the mean function to do the same thing, score 1, score 2. I don't think this will work. I think, oh, it does work. So the mean of these two things is, that's not computing the same thing. Those are not computing the same thing. It should be 50. So score 1. 50, 50. Yeah. So I am, by computing the average of this thing using the special syntax, which is what we'll cover in a later video, called a vector, by putting these scores into a vector and then computing the average, we're able to get the same answer, that the average score is 50. And that's how we assign values to variables in R and then apply operations to those variables.